Y'all ever just dance a little bit? Alone in your living room? What kind of music do you imagine is playing? If you were a musician, who would you be? Me? I'm part Lana, I think. Part T-Swift. Part Casey Musgraves. Which one would you climb into bed with? Exactly. All three. Can you imagine that lullaby? Those harmonies. Anyway, how are all you sweet little tiny baby dreamers out there, all swaddled in your sheets? Satin, flannel, linen, Egyptian cotton. Maybe all you got is a fleece robe and a space heater. Don't worry. I'm here to keep you warm. Maybe you run hot, so you just need someone to cool you off. I still got you. Whatever you need, I'm here. Just relax. Breathe. Let's wind down and cuddle up with a brand new episode of the Night Show. With your boy, Benjamin Font. I'm here with it. Coming in very, very gently with Chapter 6 of EJAY, a self-help book about anxiety. The introduction and disclaimer and Chapter 1 of the book are actually already out there on my personal YouTube, which you can go check out right now if you want to. But really, there's no need. They'll be there waiting for you after, or really just at your leisure. Because right now, I feel like we got some tucking to do. Let's get after it. Welcome to Night. I know it's been a long day, and we've got another long day ahead of us tomorrow, so let's just jump right in to Chapter 6 of EJAY, a self-help book about anxiety. This is all just one big ocean. What's the difference if you're 6 feet under the surface or 6 inches? You're still underwater. If you haven't drowned yet, you just have to keep kicking. The only option is to fight. The water is warm from the sunlight. I'm close to the top, but my arms are tired. My legs are cramped from the continuous struggle. Darkness clouds my periphery as my consciousness begins to waver. If only there were a hand to help pull me up the rest of the way. I can see it there, rippling just above the surface. One finger dips under to just the first knuckle. It caresses my forehead with the weight of a ton of bricks, promising and damning all at once. That is the seduction of this city. The uncanny ability to stay at a very close yet impossible distance, like an apparition in a dream. This is definitely a dream, but no one ever tells you it's actually going to be a nightmare. One that entraps you with both real and false hope, almost identical in nature to the point that you're scared to call it by name, because you're not sure which twin you're talking to. Is it Mary Kate or Ashley? Hi, I'm Ashley. She says it sweetly and extends a tiny hand as I introduce myself as well. Then she goes into the other room. That answers that question, I think to myself, as I stand there alone in her living room. It's so peaceful. Out the wall of windows, there's nothing but green, thriving plant life and vegetation as though the drought had never existed here. Amongst the green is a beam of sunlight where within it 2 white butterflies flutter in gentle, chaotic unison. As I watch them, my thoughts fall away from me like a series of black satin sheets that finally reveal a single canvas on which a masterpiece is painted. This one thought: I'm home. Then she comes back into the room, and I remember that Brian is there with me, my friend and co-worker at the gallery, and the only reason we're here is to deliver furniture. She politely tells us what she wants and which pieces go where. We follow her instructions, we all smile, then she tips us generously, and Brian and I leave. Another day, another dollar, as they say. But in this case, it's $1,000 because it settles a bet from my childhood. I had a crush on both of the twins when I was a kid. I was enamored by the idea of California and by their beauty and what they represented. My tiny heart swelled against the wide open prairie of my youth with the hope that someday I might obtain that life for myself. An innocent childhood celebrity crush that my dad quelled by insisting that I would never meet them. Mom wasn't happy about the discouragement, so Pops Malik went further by saying, "All right, if you meet them, I'll give you $1,000. And you better believe he's a man of his word. No picture necessary." It's strange what this city does to the notion of celebrity. In some ways it glorifies or exploits it, while in others it simply normalizes it, or humanizes it rather. It's both disgusting and fascinating. I'm in no way starstruck, though certain people do elicit some feelings of great admiration for their careers and legitimate artistic accomplishments. However, when I first started at Gallery, I wasn't prepared for one encounter in particular that affected me all too personally. It was during a delivery to an actor's home, but not just any actor, it was to Mr. O. Bloom. When I learned where we were going, my palms began to sweat. Not out of some weird infatuation, but because it's with those words a certain novella of mine begins, which is a book about mistaken identity wherein the lead character allows a young woman to believe that he actually is the unnamed though obvious actor. It was this book that landed me in LA in the first place after taking it out on a reading and drinking tour down the West Coast from Portland. My reading in LA and the people I met there were what led to anything that followed. The book held particular importance to me in the body of my work and in my life. Do I give him the book? I asked my boss, who is a very generous and kind man with an unbelievably dry sense of humor. When would even be a good time? If you're rolling around naked on the rug at the end, then that would probably be when to do it, he said absurdly, then countered with a very genuine compliment to the actor's sense of humor and kind heart. Fuck it. I printed off a copy right there at the gallery, then loaded the table into the van and began the drive. When I got there, the interior designer was moving some pieces around on the back patio with two other guys as the actor looked on and helped however he could. I didn't say a word, just unloaded the table and set to work with the designer to move some other stuff around the house. 2 hours later, the work was done and we were all set to leave. We said our goodbyes in the kitchen. As the others shuffled out, I was emboldened to linger a moment longer by the fact that the actor truly did have a good sense of humor and kind heart. My tongue felt heavy and there was a quiver in my voice. "Excuse me, I said, calling him by his first name in his own kitchen and probably sending a shiver up his spine. "Yeah?" He kept a smile on his face, but surely it was forced. "I wrote this book called..." "You're a writer? Me too," his dad said while standing to shake my hand vigorously. "Yeah," I said, as behind Mr. Bloom, the interior designer who hired me, stood with a mortified, wide-eyed look and a chopping hand gesture at his throat to tell me to shut the fuck up. But I had already gone too far. And the basic idea of the book revolves around the fact that I've always been told that I look like you. Really? He clearly disagreed with the statement as the interior designer shook his head in utter frustration and exited. Yeah, and so there's this whole confusion with identity, and the guy winds up letting this girl believe that he actually is you. Anyway, I'd love to give you a copy. Sounds great. I'd love to give it a read. Perfect. I've got one in the van if I can give it to you. Oh, god damn it. Creepy. Yeah, okay. All right, I'll be right back. When I went to retrieve the freshly printed copy of the book, the designer was waiting at the van in angry disappointment. "You can't do that. These are clients. This isn't why you're here." Those words struck a chord within me. This isn't why you're here. Actually, this is exactly why I'm here. I'm nothing if I don't utilize these opportunities, at best by a long shot, to further my career, but at the very least to have some self-respect and not walk away with the shameful and gnawing feeling of what if. The circumstances were far too specific to pass up. My body suddenly stopped trembling. "But can I give him the copy? It's right here." He sighed. "I guess. Fine. If you said you could, just you can't do this again. This is my work and it reflects negatively on me." "I understand." And I did. For fuck's sake, the whole thing was wildly inappropriate. I could have been fired and even slapped with a restraining order just out of precautionary measures. But neither was the case, thankfully. The designer just walked off without another word and blacklisted me from his projects for the next 6 months. Fair enough. Because I would have been filled with regret had I not taken the copy back up to Bloom's door and knocked, then waited, then knocked again. He finally answered. Here you go, and please, know that it's supposed to be a funny book, so take it with a grain of salt. Yes, I said those words. Right then, well, thank you. He took the book with a nod and a smile, closed the door, and probably never even read the opening line. It doesn't matter, though. It made it into his hands. He knows it exists. All that to further illustrate the bizarre incongruity of this city, this existence, the proximity with which you are to success within your industry while being seen expressly as the help. Humbling and invigorating. It keeps you kicking even when your legs are cramped from the continuous struggle. It keeps you striving to rise above the surface where the air might not be clean, but at least it's fucking breathable. At least you're alive. You exist, which, need I remind you again, is really fucking crazy. Still, it's no wonder that my anxiety would have flared up again within this world. My hypersensitive heart is tugged every which way at all times. I experience not only the pain of a double life, but the confusion of multiple lives. Dichotomy is one or really two things separately. Polychotomy is a different beast altogether. To be a boyfriend, to be a lover, to be a friend, to be a glorified laborer, to be nothing and everything, to be a writer lost in a story he's created. This is a fiction. I am not real. Don't look in the mirror. How does one manage this? Do not look in the mirror. The eyes are the window to the soul. The soul is heavy but light. The light is dimmed for effect. Sometimes I fucking hate myself. But only because I love myself so deeply that this cycle of troubling behavior is the biggest disappointment of all. Tough love has become mandatory for survival and for change. You're not dying, you motherfucker. You're not going through this again. Give yourself 10 minutes, live in it, then move on. Remember, you're strong. Oh my. My most sincere apologies for that sudden outburst. I'd gotten up to take a piss and it happened. I looked. Not on purpose, of course, but it seems the mirror is sometimes unavoidable. Perhaps it's for the best to sometimes take a long and hard look. In any case, where were we? That's right. The ocean. How the fuck did we get here? Regardless, let's take a moment to float, preserve energy, and enjoy the strange echoes of this alien world. Take it all in now, because there's no saying when it'll all be gone. And besides, to quote my brother Marlon again, thought cancers, tumorogenesis of the imagination, can be successfully overcome. Which sounds optimistic as fuck. Speaking of optimism, we're going to check in with my cousin EJAY, and hopefully he's still awake. I'll be right back. So, it's getting kind of late over here, and EJAY did not respond to my text. But we're going to give him a call anyway, and if he doesn't pick up, we'll just leave a voicemail. EJAY O'Donnell, he's my cousin. He lives in Tacoma, Seattle area. He's the VP of production and supply at Mir, creator of a company called Dad Gang and Tacoma Run Club, and just an entrepreneur and really good dude and optimistic as fuck. Let's see if he picks up.
the call. You reached the voice mailbox of EJAY O'Donnell. For a faster response, please send me a text message, or if you leave a voicemail, I'll get back to you at my soonest. Thanks again for the call. I look forward to talking to you.
The mailbox is full and cannot accept any messages at this time. Goodbye.
Well, I wouldn't say that was the most exciting conclusion of the night, but what? Is he like a dad of 2 and has a life and things to get to tomorrow? And, you know, we'll catch him another time. Because like I said, it was a long one today, and it's going to be another long one tomorrow. I'm working on a project, opening up a thing. In any case, we'll get to all that another time. It is late, so for now we're just going to call it. We're going to call it. Very tired. But thank you for coming tonight and for the slow dance at the top there. I'm really enjoying our time together. I hope you are too. And I hope to see you again next week. Till then, I love you all. Night-night.
Top of the morning, cuz! DJ, I am so sorry I missed your call last night. It was a little late in the old O'Donnell household. After 9 p.m. is night-night time for my kids and myself. Gotta get them down early. I gotta get up early. And just leaving the gym now, so I'm all jacked up on pre-workout. And, you know, the iron doesn't lie. 200 pounds is 200 pounds, you know what I mean? So, feeling good. Sweat out the negativity. Armor on to attack the day. Ready to get it. Now I'm heading to the espresso machine because coffee is life. Death before decaf. Anywho's, give me a shout back when you get a chance. Can't wait to catch up and go from there. Love you, cuz.